Hi everyone. Today is Sunday, October 16th, 2022. I'm Crystal Dawn Hill, and I'm here to share some information with you that just came through when I was doing another video. I explained it very specifically in the other video, but that video is 30 minutes long, and it started out on a different subject than what I'm going to talk about here, but this information came out during that video. So I want to do a shorter, more concise video about this specific topic that I also feel is very important to talk about and to explain for those just coming up into the twin flame journey, and for those of you who may have been on the journey for a long time but really don't have a lot of clarity or understanding on this. And that subject is the twin flame soul contract. So again, I'm going to make this very short and concise, but the way I was guided to talk about this was with a lot of clarity and a lot of specificity. I think I said that right. And I was given examples to provide, and I think that's going to help a lot with the understanding. So, with a regular soul contract, each individual person has their own contract, and when they meet other people, say for example, my brother. My brother has a soul contract and I have a soul contract. So any type of dynamic that we've ever had would have been written in each of our two soul contracts. And, there might be if it was a literal contract, it might say something like, during this period of time in your life, you're going to be having a closer relationship, and this is going to happen, and this is going to happen, and you're going to resolve it this way, or it's going to go unresolved, or you're going to have conflict and it won't be resolved until a couple years down the line, or whatever the case may be. That would be in each individual soul contract. With twin flame contracts, it isn't that way. A pair of twin flames share one soul contract between them. So, the example I was given during the other video, my guides gave me this while I was talking. The example was a contract to purchase a home. So, say you buy a home with your spouse, and say that home is located in a housing development. You're going to have the mortgage contract that you both are obligated to, and you're going to have the contract regarding the housing development in which you live. So any of those rules that apply to the residents of that housing development, you and your spouse share one contract that obligates you to that, those rules and so forth. So if one of you decides you're not going to work anymore and you don't have enough money in your household to pay the mortgage, you both are going to equally experience the repercussions of that one person's action. And if you break a rule to such a degree that would cause you to be ejected from that housing development, which I don't even know if that's legally possible, but just as an example, hypothetically, everyone in that household is going to be subject to that repercussion, not just the one who broke the rule. So That's how a soul contract for twin flames is laid out. The reason for this is that twin flames are one soul. So therefore, they only have one soul contract between them, and every decision that they each make throughout their lives will impact the other person. So the subject of my other video that I was talking about is clearing and healing ancestral bloodlines. And what got me on this subject in that video was I was talking about this one branch of my extended family that when I was guided to offer some energy work in order to help heal and clear their family bloodline, I was doing some research on their family name, and I discovered that it's possible that they share a genetic link with my twin flame. So I have never been told this definitively by my guides or through meditation or anything, but it's going to be like an educated guess that this is true, and so I'm going to share it with that in that spirit of it being very likely that it could be true. So I completely lost my train of thought. Anyway, I'll just continue with where I was going with that. So, say this extended family. Oh, yes, I was going to say that I don't know definitively that this is in my contract with my twin, but it would make sense that it would be. So, I'm going to assume that it is. So, I was shown that I'm to offer energy to help this one branch of the extended family. That cooperation with that inner guidance would essentially contribute to the growth and the healing and the expansion of my divine masculine. If in fact there is a genetic link between him and this one branch of my family. So that would be an example of what I mean when I say that one decision that one of the twins makes will impact the other twin. This is why it's so vital that we all follow our higher guidance as much as possible and as consistently as we possibly can all of the time, because we never know when there might be an opportunity for us to do work that's going to contribute to our connection and ultimately to our union. Because with everything that you clear out, the more room there is for union to take place. The union happens because of, well, let me take that one step further. Separation happens because of all of the karma and wounding and everything that is in your energy field. So the more of that you clear out, the more space there is for union to return. I'm almost getting like a visual of how I could illustrate this in a drawing or something. And I may do that later. I don't know. Just for right now, I just feel like it was important to verbalize that. So, but if you can imagine on a piece of paper, say there's a triangle, and it's an equilateral triangle, and at the bottom two corners, it's me at one corner and my twin at the other corner. And as we ascend through the layers of our etheric body, we rise up toward the top corner of the triangle. So the visual that I just got when I was talking about how me helping my branch of the extended family could, if they are in fact related to him, then that would help him. The visual I was getting when I was saying that is that, like, me going up my side of the triangle and reaching the point where that family, where that branch of the family is, and me clearing that blockage. That healing work that I did would go down the other side of the triangle toward him and ripple to him and impact him in a positive way. So now that I've said that, this would make it even simpler. Just think of the triangle like the contract. And that one triangle is our entire, everything that happens during our life here together on earth would be in that contract. So, as I was saying in the other video, I have talked about this many times. I've given credit to the person whose video actually awoke me to this realization in the first place, because I had been struggling for quite some time with understanding or reconciling how we could have just one contract, but yet differ so much in our lifetimes. And when I saw this video by someone, that is actually what helped me to reconcile it in my own mind. And as I was saying in the other video, you can go on my Facebook page and go under search and type in Twin Flame Contract, and it will pull up every single post that I've ever written on this subject if you want to learn more about how I've reached this point of realization and understanding. But how I reached it isn't going to be very significant to you, but understanding it for yourself is very significant to you, which is why I'm doing this message, to put this information in a nice, neat little package for you to refer to when you want to gain clarity and understanding about the subject yourself. So, in a nutshell, the reason that twin flames do not have two individual soul contracts is because they are one soul. So, when they come in, there's one soul contract between them that already exists from the first moment in time when they were created as a one soul being. So even if one person is born and then the other person is born 5 or 10 or 20 years later, everything that the older person does is still going to impact the soul journey of the younger person. And then when that person comes in and is born as a human, then their choices and their life path is going to impact that of their twin flame as well. So this is another reason why it's important for us to not only understand this, but also to be very conscientious of the choices that we make and the understanding that we gain along the way. Because that moment when you meet, it changes everything. And once you meet, that is like an initiation of a new path that you both forge as one together. And that is the point at which you both become aware that your whole lifetime has involved this other person that you never knew until this moment when you met. And that's what happened to me. And that's why, like when I did the interview on Soul Speaks 5D, I had mentioned to the host, Todd, that when I met him, I took one look at his picture, even before we met, when I saw his picture, is like I had this vision of a dry erase board that had been completely wiped clean. And we started all over from that point forward. And all of the decisions and everything that we made before we met was impacting each other. But then after we met is that point of realization that there always has been that other person. So I hope that I said everything here that I wanted to say. I hope that this was as clear and concise as I had intended for it to be. And I hope that it gives you understanding and clarity and has helped you make some sense or give you some reconciliation in the understanding of why twins have one contract between them. So thank you everyone for following along my journey. I wish you all the very best along your journey as well, and have a wonderful day.